Advice 6. Things not to do as an investor. People often think about using debt for investment, engaging in ventures without capital. However, debt is always harmful. Holding cash is the safest option. If executed properly and combined with favorable opportunities, the stock market can become a cash machine. The allure of profit is undeniable. Although Karl Marx's comments on capital don't directly apply to today's investment landscape, they highlight the temptation of profit. Stock market returns are not fixed. They can lead to either bankruptcy or overnight wealth, enticing some investors to borrow for investment. The high risk of the stock market often deters investors. Consequently, many stockholders seek ways to invest using other people's money. This approach avoids tying up personal funds, and even if they don't immediately profit, they can shift blame to lenders. Some continue borrowing, claiming they need to recoup their initial investment. Borrowing for investment is akin to gambling. The losses extend beyond finances. Some investors borrow because they believe they possess a perfect investment theory but lack capital. They persuade others to raise funds, hoping to turn borrowed eggs into profits. While tempting, this strategy is ultimately foolish, especially in stock market investments. Warren Buffett, the celebrated investor, rarely borrows for investments. His low debt standards and ample cash reserves allow him to seize any opportunity that comes his way. Unlike indebted individuals who can only watch from the sidelines, borrowing for stock investments isn't as simple as seizing opportunities. It often leads to disastrous consequences. Investors fixated on using debt are destined to fail. Bad debt is a ticking time bomb, ready to explode at any moment. It's like the tight-fitting headband on Sun Wukong's head, restricting your movements. To become a true wealthy individual, steer clear of debt and confidently step into the arena. In the first section, Empty-Handed White Wolf, the business startup model is not uncommon. According to reports, there are successful examples of this approach, and these so-called successful individuals are often seen as role models. Many stock investors also aspire to achieve significant gains without investing any of their own capital, hoping to make a fortune from scratch. However, the idea of getting something for nothing is unrealistic. Even free lunches come at a cost. We cannot expect divine favor or luck, especially in the stock market. Using that as a means to start a business is even more challenging. There is a fundamental difference between entrepreneurial ventures and stock market investments. One operates in the physical economy, while the other exists in the virtual economy. Consequently, their operational models differ significantly. In entrepreneurial ventures, the successful empty-handed white wolf examples typically share a common condition. Even if the venture fails, it won't result in a loss. At worst, transactions may not proceed, but no money is lost. These savvy entrepreneurs often act as intermediaries, using other people's funds to facilitate transactions and earning a profit from the difference, without risking their own capital. Investing in the stock market, on the other hand, is riskier. Failure can lead to significant losses. Therefore, dreaming of an empty-handed white wolf scenario in stock market investments is ill-advised. Avoid borrowing excessively, as long-term fixed-rate loans can harm both the borrower and society. The concept of 借鸡生蛋, borrowing a chicken to lay eggs, refers to utilizing someone else's resources, whether it's capital, expertise, labor, or other assets, to generate profits. For instance, banks use depositors' money to engage in various business activities and earn larger returns. However, it's essential to recognize the significant differences between entrepreneurial ventures and stock market investments. In entrepreneurial endeavors, successful 借鸡生蛋 scenarios typically involve minimal risk. Even if the venture fails, there's no significant loss. Transactions may not proceed, but no money is lost. Entrepreneurs often act as intermediaries, using others' funds to facilitate transactions and earning a profit without risking their own capital. On the other hand, stock market investments are inherently riskier. If unsuccessful, investors face substantial losses. Therefore, dreaming of a risk-free 借鸡生蛋 scenario in the stock market is ill-advised. Avoid borrowing money for investments, especially through long-term fixed-rate loans, as it can lead to severe consequences. Let me share a story from over a decade ago in the Taipei stock market, illustrating the challenges of 借鸡生蛋. 星号 small investor Mr. Wu had saved over NT 500,000 and entered the stock market during a bullish period when the index reached 12,000 points. 星号 unfortunately, the market reversed, and the index plummeted to 2,000 points. Mr. Wu's stock value dropped to less than NT 200,000. 星号 undeterred, he analyzed market indicators and believed a rebound was imminent. He borrowed NT 1 million from his friend, Mr. Zhang, who had surplus funds. 星号 however, the market continued to decline, reaching 5,000 points. Mr. Zhang urgently needed the money back for his company's raw material purchase. 星号 facing a dilemma, Mr. Wu decided to sell his remaining stocks at the limit down price. Fellow traders, aware of his predicament, rallied to buy his shares, allowing him to repay the loan. 星号 weeks later, government policies aimed at reviving the stock market caused a sudden surge. Unfortunately, Mr. Wu was left with nothing, no stocks, no cash. 星号 the lesson, 借鸡生蛋 isn't straightforward. Misjudgments can lead to irreversible losses. Even well-funded companies can face unexpected setbacks. Relying on others' money to make your own gains carries significant risks, one that's hard to predict. In summary, let's learn from these experiences. Rather than relying on borrowed funds, consider a more sustainable approach in the stock market. Instead of 借鸡生蛋, focus on nurturing your own investments for long-term success. Second section, which emphasizes safety first and the importance of capital preservation in stock market investments. The concept of preserving capital before seeking profits is a common saying in the stock market. Regardless of the circumstances, prioritizing capital preservation ensures the possibility of achieving growth. When the stock market becomes volatile and accurate judgments are challenging, investors should consider using capital preservation strategies to avoid significant losses. Recently, during a global financial storm, my friend decided to sell off the component stocks they had purchased earlier. Their perspective was clear: if you don't understand the current situation, step back and observe. Even if you miss opportunities, maintain a calm mindset. As long as you have your money back, you won't miss future chances. My friend emphasized the importance of being proactive and waiting for favorable opportunities. They confidently stated, stand on solid ground and seek victory later. Perhaps this approach can be summarized as having resources at hand and maintaining a calm mindset. Capital preservation is the bottom line. Investing in stocks involves using money to generate more money. Once your initial capital is gone, it's like losing the hen that lays golden eggs. You're left without a source of income. No matter how attractive an opportunity seems, without capital, you can only watch helplessly. Experienced investors often advise protecting your initial investment in stocks to facilitate future growth. Preserving capital is the fundamental baseline. Even when potential returns are enticing, avoid taking unnecessary risks. If you breach this baseline, the metaphorical floodwaters and wild beasts can strike unexpectedly. Always remember that preserving capital is essential for profitable endeavors. Investing is a game with oneself. When losses occur, many people find it difficult to let go and hope for a stock's recovery. However, excessive losses can severely impact confidence. Capital preservation strategies during economic downturns or volatile market conditions. Investors can employ capital preservation strategies to safeguard their initial investment. Capital preservation aims to prevent total loss. To implement capital preservation, investors must define their concept of capital. It doesn't refer to the total amount used to purchase stocks, but rather the remaining amount they can accept after potential worst-case losses, their acceptable loss limit. Investors have anticipated profit and risk levels. If these exceed their expectations, it's time to consider exiting. In capital preservation, The capital doesn't represent the total invested amount but rather the minimum balance they refuse to lose, the essential stop-loss level. The key to capital preservation lies in selling decisions. Investors must first determine their expected capital, the portion they won't allow to be wiped out. Next, they identify profit-taking points and establish clear stop-loss levels. Profit-taking points are relevant during bullish market trends. Investors decide to sell a portion of their holdings once they achieve a certain profit. For instance, if an investor initially bought 10,000 shares of a stock for $100,000 and aims to preserve 80% of their capital, they might sell 1,000 shares when the stock price reaches $12. The remaining 900 shares would still have a market value close to $10,000, maintaining the initial investment amount. Subsequently, if the stock rises by 10%, reaching $13.20, they sell another 1,000 shares, ensuring their capital remains around $100,000. This gradual reduction in holdings maintains the account's value while cash profits continue to grow. This approach aligns with the investment adage, cut losses quickly and let profits run. Capital preservation is a rational investment strategy. By quantifying entry and exit points, it leaves no room for negotiation. Following such a plan ensures the preservation of the initial investment. If you have some stock market experience, executing this strategy becomes easier. When profits accumulate, you might wonder why you didn't invest more initially. However, setting a baseline allows you to make decisive choices, even during challenging times. When stocks decline, the nightmare begins. Investors often hope that each day is the last day of the downturn. Even minor rebounds can be seen as signs of an imminent rally. However, if you worry about a stock to the point of losing sleep, you've taken on excessive risk. Sell a portion of your stocks until you feel comfortable enough to sleep well. Keep the concept of capital preservation firmly in mind. Each mistake in stock investment deepens your understanding. Over time, you'll know exactly what to do. Remember, capital preservation is the key to long-term success. The stock market can be unpredictable, and some investors have faced challenges in recent years. To address this, many are turning to capital-protected investment products, such as capital guarantee funds. Here are the main takeaways. D. Capital guarantee funds. These funds combine fixed income instruments with derivatives. They offer investors a certain level of capital protection, usually 80% to 100%, within a specified investment period. If redeemed early, the capital guarantee may not apply. These funds are sometimes called semi-closed-end funds. R. Investment strategy. Capital guarantee funds allocate most of their funds to low-risk assets like bonds or deposits. A smaller portion is invested in higher-risk instruments like stocks or options, aiming for better returns. Even if the riskier assets suffer losses, the capital guarantee ensures some protection. 3. Types of capital guarantee funds. 星号 guarantee funds. These rely on a guarantee institution to protect a certain percentage of the capital until maturity. 星号 protected funds. These use investment tools to protect a portion of the capital without a guarantee institution. 4. Features of capital guarantee funds. 星号 capital safety. The guarantee percentage is clearly stated in the fund's prospectus. 星号 early redemption. Redeeming before maturity may forfeit the capital guarantee. 星号 investment period, typically within 10 years. 星号 limited subscription period, only available during the fund's subscription period. 5. Development and availability. 星号 capital guarantee funds originated in the U.S. in the 1980s and gained popularity. They are also prevalent in Europe. 星号 in Taiwan. There are currently around 2 capital guarantee funds, mainly denominated in foreign currencies due to low local interest rates. 6. Considerations. 星号 guarantee percentage. Be aware of the specified capital protection level. 星号 early redemption. Early redemption may not guarantee capital protection. 星号 currency risk. Foreign currency denominated funds carry exchange rate risk. In summary, Capital guarantee funds prioritize safety while aiming for reasonable returns. However, investors should carefully assess their risk tolerance and consider other options like bonds or money market funds. Remember, safety comes first in stock market investments. First section. Tailoring to fit, skillfully navigating. Warren Buffett advises sincere investors, always hold a portion of cash and avoid putting all your money into the stock market. Once you invest in the market, the liquidity of these funds becomes restricted, and you can't easily withdraw them for other purposes unless you disregard potential losses. Opportunities in the stock market are unpredictable. They may come your way at any time. If you've invested all your money, you won't have the ability to seize immediate opportunities. It's essential to tailor your investment based on your financial capacity, ensuring you have flexibility and aren't constrained by capital limitations. Of course, avoid exceeding your financial burden. Everyone's situation varies, so stock market investments should be personalized according to individual circumstances. This is especially crucial for retail investors. For instance, consider Mr. Shen, a department manager at a trading company, who has a stable monthly income and plans to send his child abroad for education. His investment strategy may lean toward long-term stability. In contrast, Mr. Xia, an older individual with no dependents and limited income apart from early savings, might find a low-risk, easily accessible guaranteed fund more suitable. Regardless of the individual, avoid putting all your money into stocks. The stock market carries significant risks. If you put everything at stake and suffer losses, you could end up with nothing, even missing the chance to break even. Investing in stocks involves using money to make money. If you lose your initial capital, it's akin to losing your job. Worse yet, you might face bankruptcy due to bad luck. Without resources, even encountering a great opportunity won't help if you lack the necessary capital. Warren Buffett always maintains ample cash reserves, allowing him to navigate the stock market skillfully. He remains unrestricted by capital limitations, ready to seize fleeting opportunities. Having cash on hand is like being a fish in water for him, enabling him to achieve his grand vision. Therefore, stock market investments require long-term planning. Don't hide or rush, instead, create a strategic plan that leaves room for unexpected needs. This principle applies not only to overall strategy but also to tactical decisions. As the saying goes, having grain in hand, you won't panic in your heart. Confidence comes from being well prepared. If your financial foundation is shaky, rational investment becomes challenging. Warren Buffett understands this well, always maintaining sufficient cash reserves. This allows him to navigate the market with ease, seizing fleeting opportunities. Whether in strategy or tactics, it's crucial to tailor your investment based on your financial strength. In summary, the key is to be prepared, flexible, and strategic. Having cash reserves ensures you can act swiftly when opportunities arise. Section 4. Be prepared and seamless. To achieve financial ease and confidence, a well-thought-out capital utilization plan is essential. Just as a skilled cook needs quality ingredients to prepare a delicious meal, investors must wisely allocate their limited capital. Wasting or gambling away funds in the stock market is unwise. Therefore, how to use this limited capital effectively becomes a critical consideration. While many investors focus on market price fluctuations, researching news, sentiment, fundamentals, and technical indicators, they often neglect the crucial task of allocating and planning their funds. Like military strategy where provisions precede troop movements, investors should prioritize financial allocation. A sound capital utilization plan should meet the following criteria. B. Reasonable allocation. Distribute investments across different projects systematically. R. Cash reserves. Always keep a portion of cash available for emergencies. 3. Risk minimization. Aim to minimize risk in capital deployment. Remember that a perfect plan for one person may not suit another. Even the most effective plan requires personal adaptation. For instance, diversifying risk by investing in various sectors and stocks may seem reasonable, but too much diversification can increase risk. Instead, consider focusing on a few promising stocks to manage them effectively. Section 5. Preserve capital. The saying 留得青山在，不怕没柴烧, keep the green hills, you won't run out of firewood, applies well to the stock market. As long as you have capital, you can continue investing. Therefore, preserving capital is crucial. Always maintain a portion of your funds for future opportunities. When trapped in losing positions, consider the following strategies. B. Hold and observe. If you hold fundamentally strong stocks, be patient. Market fluctuations are normal, and as long as the overall market trend remains favorable, wait for prices to recover. R. Cut losses. If you hold poor quality stocks with deteriorating fundamentals, don't hesitate to sell. Exiting early minimizes losses. 5. Adapt to market conditions. Adjust your strategy based on market trends. In bear markets, reduce exposure and wait for better opportunities. Section 6. Avoid debt. Warren Buffett's principle of avoiding debt is essential. Holding cash is the safest option. If you lack Buffett's access to insurance company leverage, be cautious about borrowing. If necessary, consider long-term bank loans with fixed interest rates as a last resort. Remember, being debt-free is a powerful position. Buffett's success lies not only in his investment choices but also in his financial discipline. Follow his lead and prioritize safety and capital preservation.